Hare Krishna, Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me here today. Again, I really appreciate your support. We're going to discuss fear and ignorance and how that is a key factor about the many things that people who perhaps should change don't want to change. People fear things they don't understand. How is it hard for some to give up on eating an animal that has been slaughtered ruthlessly? Whether you consider it humanely or inhumane, the end product is the same. An animal lost its life for your pleasure. If we think about it, we are immersed and we are drowned in various informations from all aspects about the pros of meat eating, even the cons of meat eating. And who gives this information to us? Where is it coming from? Why should we accept? Are we pretending to be blind? It is stated that it is easier to wake up someone who's actually asleep rather than someone who's pretending to be asleep. So if you're pretending to be asleep, if you don't want to know the facts, then how can you make that change? If we think about this, we are conditioned from the very beginning of life to believe in certain things, whether it's religion, politics, whatever it is. And this is how we live our lives. We don't go beyond this limited conditioning. When we have to choose a diet, when we're old enough to choose a diet, we can make that choice based on proper information. That information that will help us beyond the flowery words that you hear from TV commercials such as McDonald's or Burger King or whoever it is. If we watch movies such as Earthlings, Meet Your Meat, and From Farm to Fridge, we see the reality of what actually goes on in these farms, factory farms. As Linda McCartney said, if slaughterhouses had glass walls, everybody would be vegetarian. So when we try to transition, we have to understand that we're trying to transition and give knowledge because ultimately we are only affecting our own environment, us. We're affecting us. We are the whole world. The problems we cause affects our surroundings and will affect those of us who are yet to be born, our kids, our grandchildren. What are we leaving them behind? The facts about meat eating cannot be any more real, yet we choose to be blind. So this reminds me a story about Dr. Frog. We all know frogs, they croak a lot, sometimes inviting their own death. So Dr. Frog, in this particular case, lived in a well. He had many fellow frogs who listened to him or were his disciples, and he was their truth. But the truth that he knew only was limited to the circumference of that well. Everything he based his information on was based on that well. One day, another frog came out from outside the well, and he saw Dr. Frog teaching his disciples. And Dr. Frog noticed him, and he said, where are you from? Who are you? He goes, I'm a frog that came from the ocean. So Dr. Frog goes, the ocean? What is that? And Dr. Frog goes, well, it's a vast body of water. So the Dr. Frog goes, oh, like my well. So the other frog goes, yes, but only bigger and much more vast. So since Dr. Frog had only the well to compare anything to, he asked him, is it this much bigger than the well? The more he inquired, the bigger or the more puffed up he got, because he could only relate everything to that well. And the other frog says, no, it's much bigger. So he goes, is it this much bigger than the well? And the other frog goes, no, it's much bigger. So this way Dr. Frog expanded and expanded and expanded. He could only compare it to the well or the limited knowledge he had. So we have to go outside that well. And by the way, the more Dr. Frog expanded, he eventually exploded because of his limited knowledge to that well. So when you watch this video, please give yourself the information needed to protect fellow animals, to love our fellow creatures, to understand that outside of this deep, dark well of ignorance is a vast knowledge of information, ocean of knowledge. So there is no knowledge that is not power. So learn the facts about eating meat. Focus on the fact that there is an opposite point of view. Try to find out from a compassionate side about the facts of eating meat. There's many videos on YouTube. You search it about pros and cons of meat eating and vegetarianism. You make the decision. Please be peaceful. You are what you eat. No meat. Hare Krishna. Namaste.